MovieWeb.com.
I think it's beautiful.
It ain't June.
And it ain't the plaza.
Are you ready to catch this bouquet?
I'm feeling kind of strange because of all the things.
Liz, will you marry me?
Yes. We're Marion's 1 o'clock, and we're each other's maids of honor.
I have 3 openings at the plaza. 2 the 6th, 1 the 27th.
Oh, my parents' anniversary's the 6th. It's so meant to be.
Oh, then I'll take the 27th.
You want to discuss this with the grooms?
No.
Now, this film is like girl crack. I was at the screening last night, and these girls were like squealing and screaming, and I guess I just didn't get the enthusiasm. Can you kind of explain?
Why didn't you get the enthusiasm?
Well, because I sat through the movie like this, kind of. Like, okay, rings, dresses, but the girls were like, yes!
But
Like every time the
couldn't you
rings.
appreciate women being crazy?
I could appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's very funny, but I'm saying
Okay, good. Are you married?
Enthusiasm.
Have you been
not
married?
Yet. Not yet.
Okay. Well, maybe when you like get to that place, then, because I know some guys were saying they came and they were like, it brought back a lot of memories, like not necessarily ones you want to remember, yeah, no, I mean, girls, that's the kind of stuff we're really into. That's what's so funny about, what's so fun about this movie, like making fun of the fact that we are like that there are moments that we get really like, obsessed with things.
Crazy. You guys are nuts in this movie. The things you guys do to each other.
I know.
When you were reading the script, there's not really anyone you can really take sides with except for the Vera Wang dress.
Basically.
So, of course, you went out. That's why your character
I developed it. It started as just like just a pitch, just an idea. And then with that came the sort of the war, and what happens in the war and how we sort of sabotage each other's weddings. And the more that we worked on the script and the more we worked on developing the characters and what the movie was, the more fun we got to have in that department of like, trying to figure out things that would be really funny to sort of make fun of. Well, the thing was, though, is that I think a really important part of the story was that it was a story that we were looking in on. So having Candice Bergen sort of tell the story was always really important because you could sort of look in on these 2 girls and their experience rather than being with them from the very beginning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you rooted for them from the beginning, and you wanted to see this like little tale, this story about these girls. So, therefore you could we could get away with being kind of nasty to each other.
Well, I was gonna say, you developed it, so is that why you get the sweeter guy and you're not the groom in the beginning of the film? Like when they're doing the little wedding? I mean, is that like strategically planned on your part that you're like, yes, I got the sweet guy at the end of the movie?
No, I think it was one of those things like, it's the idea that it's not exactly always how you think it's going to be. Like the girl who's sort of the softer girl isn't necessarily the one who's with the right person, and the one who's sort of the more like ambitious and kind of aggressive character sometimes ends up in the relationship that is going to last, I think it was more about that, sort of playing against the person who would end up in that situation, because that's usually how it turns up. You go to a wedding and you like, everybody judges couples, and you go into some weddings and you're like, oh, those people are doomed. And you go into another one, they're like, those people are going to be in love forever. And then like 2 months later, the people who are in love forever are divorcing, and the people who are doomed are together for like 30 years.
Forever.
Yeah.
And they're doomed together. In their own
Exactly.
I don't know. Is it that bad? Fletch didn't think it was that bad.
Well, honey, he's your fiancé. He probably thought your hair looked nice, too.